Hey everybody, and welcome back to the second video in which we will try to recreate a shader for a car paint material. Now, if you followed up the first video, this is what we ended up with. We basically have our frame buffer rendering out this shader. So if you haven't watched the first video, feel free, go check it out. And this is basically a continuation from where we stopped in the first video. All right, so this is what we have at the moment. And what I noticed is that when we created this, everything is right, but there is one thing missing. Namely, like I showed you in the image, like this one, when you come in really close, you want to see all these little specks. We made that when we introduced the specks or the flakes with the stochastic flakes VRay material, but I just noticed a small issue here. Namely, since we're using a triplanar from object XYZ, and if you're following along from the first video, the thing that I kind of screwed up is I missed a 0 here. Namely, the flakes are here. You can probably see them if you render out this in a higher resolution, but they're too big. So if you want to have that sparkly look, what we have to do is decrease this number. So go to 0.001. And now if I simply select any of these pieces, let's go like take this thing and re-render. What you will notice is that all of those flakes are actually in the shader that we already created. So if you followed along with the first video, just make sure that when you're putting in the map or the flake scale here, if you're using a triplanar from object XYZ mapping type, make sure you have a very small scale here. And you can also control how many flakes you have with the number of flakes. All right, so with that, we have this thing from the first video. Now, let's see how we can make a pearlescent color. Pearlescent color for our car shader. What is the first thing we have to make clear is what is a pearlescent color? Well, pearlescent color is what you would usually see when you see something like this. It's basically a color that changes its hue depending on the angle that you are viewing it. It kind of looks cool on certain cars. I don't think this is one of those cool looking cars, but then again, you have different types like this one, or you have something like this one. And as you can see, this one has multiple colors. You have blues, you have pinks, you have orange, yellow, all different sorts of colors. So let's see how we can create that or replicate that on our already existing shader. Creating this is actually not that complicated or hard. In order to create it, we have to look at this in a logical manner. For example, if I go back to this image, I'm going to notice that I have different colors on this same shader. So this means that, again, I'm going to have to put in a few more coats in here. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to the original here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to copy this car paint material. I'm going to copy it to a different slot like here. And I want to go and have a green, what goes, well, orange, right? I'm going to call this orange color. Awesome. And what I want to do here is, since I'm going to take this and use it as an individual color in the original shader, I want to remove the reflection coating because we will reuse the reflection coating from here. All right, so for this one, go clear and clear. And now I simply just want to move this thing down. So swap it so we have a none. Make sure you swap the mask as well. And now take the orange color, or basically the copy that we just created, and swap it in the none. Make it a copy. And now go inside the orange color, inside the base of that orange color, and in here change the actual color of the shader. So instead of having a green, let's go to orange. Below it, we want to copy it and make it a darker version of it, which will be controlled by the mix curve. Go back to here, and at the moment I'm not gonna put in any type of mask, but I'm simply going to use a blend, the blend of 50%, so you can see, so you guys can see what is happening at the moment with our shader. So let's hit a quick render. And as you can see, now both of these colors, the base material and the orange color, are mixing at 50%. And now you can even see all of those flakes much better with this color on. So now what I want to do is go in and put in a curve with which I can control where the orange is going to appear. So hit this thing, go to fall off, and in the fall off, go to the mix curve, add in an extra point, and with this point, put it over here somewhere. I'm going to use a Bezier smooth, and I want to get something down these lines. It doesn't, it's not exact science. Feel free and try it out for yourself. Put it somewhere around there, and now I'm going to re-render and see how this thing is influencing my shader. So I'm going to take this part over here, re-render, and from what I can see, thanks to this curve that I have here, it's controlling where the orange is going to appear. And since we only have the black to a small amount, it only means that the bottom here, or the edges, will have that orange color. Now, if I want to further control where this orange is going to appear, I can simply just click here and move this thing around. So if I put it on the opposite edge like this, and now re-render, what you can see is that now we still have that orange look, but it's very, very low at the bottom and even at the edges. So this curve controls exactly where that orange is going to appear. So we can control it with this. If we put it near the left side, you're going to have more orange. If you put it near to the 0, then you're going to have less of it. So knowing this, we can basically go ahead and now mix in different colors and mix them all together with different curves. Let's see just one more version here. Again, I'm going to make sure that the reflection coating is last, and everything I put in is underneath the reflection coating. So orange color, copy it here, and this time around I'm going to go back to the base number, or the base material, go in here and put in a different color. Let's go with something like blue. Copy and make it a darker blue. Go back twice. Copy the curve. Make it so it mixes up more, like so. And now let's re-render and see how the shader is going to hold on with the orange, the blue color. So let's just name it blue so we know what it is. It's blue color, orange, and the original green. So let's render and see. What I'm noticing at the moment though is even though this thing is not finished with the rendering, the curve map for the orange is lower than the one from the blue. So we have to make it so it overlaps a bit more, something like this. And now let's re-render and see. So from what I can see is that now I have a proper pearlescent look to this. If I take a look at the center or right at it, it's still green, but as I'm approaching a slight angle, I'm seeing the yellowy or the orange hue, and then at the edges, or actually more on this side or the sides, I'm seeing the blue color. So by following this example, I can put in as many colors as I want and control how further or how far they extend by controlling the curve that I use in the blend amount. And with this, we basically are going to end this lesson here, because now you know, if you've followed through with the first video, you know how to create the base shader. And in this video, we saw how we can tweak the settings to get all the flakes popping up like this. And you also now know how to make or how to blend the different materials to get this pearlescent look to it. So I hope you guys had fun and you learned something new. If you have any questions, leave them below. I will meet you in the comment section of the video. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. And if you're not subscribed, now it's a great time to do so. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.